what's up, s'mores? I'm Shannon Morse. Apple's WWDC 2024 just wrapped up last week, and no matter what side of the fence you use your tech on, there are some really interesting updates that you need to know about. Now, if you are here for Apple hate, I apologize in advance. Even though I am an Android user, I came away from their keynote with overall positive feelings towards it, but I do have some logical critiques. So let's dive into the top takeaways from WWDC 2024 that every Android user should be aware of. First off, we have iOS 18 enhancements. Apple is making some big strides in customization, something that Android users have enjoyed for years. I love my customized settings. With iOS 18, you can now personalize your home screen with updated theming, colors, and more control over widgets. During the keynote, they showed off a custom home screen that looked very similar to what you can get on Android with Material U, complete with animated widgets, dynamic themes, and custom app icon colors. Now, Material U is Google's version of this, which lets you do similar theming but does not affect the colors of many third-party icons. Goodlock and the Galaxy Theme Store on Android have lots of theme packs that you can try or purchase as well. While I can already do theming and I can dim my wallpaper when dark mode is on via my Android, I am very happy that my friends in the Apple community will now have similar controls, and I love that the full rainbow of colors can be chosen for all icons. That was a good move by Apple. Customizing your physical controls on your lock screen quick access apps is also something that I can do on Android. Apple allows you to choose a lot of third-party apps for the quick access on your lock screen as well. Another good one. For my security-conscious Apple users, you can now lock or hide apps in iOS 18. So for example, if you are using your phone to accept payments, you can lock apps so a customer cannot click on another app while they are paying. If you use an app that you don't want anybody to know about, you can hide that app entirely. This is similar to our Android privacy options where you can lock an open app so it cannot be switched. You have to unlock it with like a PIN or your fingerprint. Android phones do have hidden app capabilities as well, but that tutorial is going to vary depending on the phone brand. Different Android phones hide apps in different ways. iOS 18 brings scheduled messages as well as messages via satellite. Both of these are extremely useful options for communication, and the satellite messages are end-to-end encrypted. Maps can now show you hiking directions in the app. I usually use AllTrails to track everything from my hikes, including the steps and the elevation gains. So I am curious how this new hiking in Maps will compare specifically to AllTrails. Photos is getting several updates that put it on par with Google Photos, such as categorizing photos. They call these collections, saving screenshots to a different folder. That's very nice. Having albums based on people or pets. These are generated automatically in Google Photos if you want. And a pretty view recap of your recent pictures. Now, one thing that I have always disliked on iPhones is the lack of any kind of organization in the Photos app, and I am pretty sure it bugged the heck out of my friends whenever they try to find a specific photo to share. So I am so glad that they are making some huge upgrades to Photos that will definitely improve the whole experience. If you find this video helpful, you can subscribe right down below, and that will tell YouTube's algorithm that you want to see more content from me. And if you want to support videos like this one that do not have any sponsors, then hit up the YouTube memberships button down below, or you can check out my Patreon for early access to videos, shoutouts, and access to my exclusive Discord server. That's patreon.com/Shannon Morse for all the perks. And as usual, all the videos on my channel are free to watch, and I thank my YouTube members and my patrons for making that possible. iPadOS 18 also gets the iOS 18 home screen updates, plus new intuitive elements that make for smooth switching. They're adding this really cool remotely controlling feature so you can help your family with iPadOS tech support, which I think is so cool, plus a calculator. Yay! I'm so glad that y'all will actually have a calculator now. But it can also be used with your Apple Pencil. You can write or draw mathematical equations. They are calling this Math Notes, which is built into the app. It looks incredibly useful, but I will be honest, I have not done these kind of equations since college, so I don't know if I would actually use it. But it's cool. This is really neat. Smart Script. This refines handwriting. It can paste text into your handwriting. It uses spell check, and it can move your text to make space for new writing if you want to add something into a paragraph. It lets you erase writing by scratching it out, all of which is very, very beautifully done, and I would love to see something like this on my Galaxy Tab. Then we have software innovations. So Safari is getting a boost with new AI-powered features. They introduced highlights, which will use machine learning to highlight relevant information as you browse. macOS Sequoia has continuity upgrades for universal control. iPhone mirroring is similar to what I can do on my Samsung phone in Tab, and tiles will snap into place along the edges of your monitor, very, very similar to what Windows 11 does. Now, one of the most exciting parts for me is that iMessage now supports RCS, and this is going to be rolling out with iOS 18. It's going to bridge a huge gap between Apple and Android messaging. This is huge because it means better cross-platform texting without needing third-party apps. Even though this was very, very briefly mentioned, that kind of just glossed over it during WWDC, this is going to be extremely important and a much needed advancement for mixed OS households or people like me who have struggled to share media with family members who have iPhones. The new Passwords app is basically like a passwords manager app. It's very similar to apps like Bitwarden, for example. It syncs across devices, it lets you save all of your secure passwords for Wi-Fi and websites and apps and shared passwords, passkeys, sign in with Apple, your verification codes. I'm assuming this is like one-time codes. Since this will be integrated seamlessly by Apple, I'm very hopeful that this will naturally make security easier for Apple users, but I'm very, very curious about it. I will probably want to review it when it comes out. Apple announced new gaming partnerships, and they pointed out that games will be using Metal 3, so it's taking advantage of Apple Silicon, aiming to lure gamers who might traditionally lean towards PCs or Android devices with better gaming capabilities. Assassin's Creed Shadows looks awesome, by the way. It is releasing cross-platform though, so I'm gonna grab that on my PC whenever it comes out. And then we have Apple Intelligence. AI. Yes, Apple is calling their artificial intelligence model Apple Intelligence. No wonder. And this will be included in their devices. Similar to the AI and LLMs that we have seen from the Android brands, Apple's version will also use on-device processing power to offer better privacy while using AI. If you saw my Samsung AI tutorial recently where I went through all the recent changes on their newest devices, then you already know how to access similar options in your settings for Android. So Apple Intelligence will give users the ability to create your own images and understand people in your photo library. AI can create an AI version of your friend for their birthday, for example. Actions will use prompts to make AI do similar actions to what you see on Android. And it will use personal context like using content from across your apps to find relevant information so your queries should be answered correctly. Now, they did mention that Apple Intelligence equals powerful privacy since the architecture is using on-device processing, and they made this hit at other AI models for reaching out to server farms to power their functionality. And rightfully so, because having data processed off-device can bring security issues or privacy concerns. But then they introduced private cloud compute. Privacy for AI in Apple servers running on Apple Silicon. Now, data is not stored or accessible by Apple. It's only used for requests, and the server's security and privacy is verifiable by independent experts. That's great and all, but every single brand says the same thing. It really comes down to what company do you trust, and do they have the third-party audits to back that up? So other than a few logical critiques based on my following on current technology, along with current security and privacy advances, I was quite pleased with overall with what I saw from this event. Any advancements in the industry that lead to better quality of life improvements for users is a positive thing. And if Apple is giving its users a passwords app that can integrate all your passwords and security needs into one thing, they're adding RCS, easier photo organization means my family will be able to send high quality pictures and protect their accounts better, then I think all of that is a good thing. I actually do have an Apple device. I know, oh my gosh, spilled the tea, OMG, it's an old iPhone that I use use as a studio camera, but it's good to have on hand to test new releases. So if you want to see an overview of like the new security and privacy updates, a test of Apple Intelligence, etc., let me know. I'm open to exploring more iOS content on my channel. I'm not against it. I appreciate y'all for sticking around. Feel free to leave your comments down below. Try to make them as positive as possible. I want to see some positivity in the comments. I'll see you later. Bye, y'all.